Lewis Wing captains the side, 11 goals last season. He barely misses a minute. Alongside him in midfield is Charlie Savage, formerly of the Manchester United Academy. 7 of this 11 started the Europa League final, including match winner Brennan Johnson. Christian Romero captains the side. Alfie Devine back from his loan at Westerlo in Belgium. Champions of Europe rings out from the 4,000 travelling supporters in Berkshire this afternoon, as Reading in their familiar blue and white get the game underway. Savage hangs it up. And the ball to the back post is a good one. Kinski tries to command his area, doesn't quite, and Pedro Porro is needed for what looks like a goal line clearance. Belted forward with purpose. It wasn't a bad strike, in fact, from Savage, but Pedro Porro to the rescue, it would appear. Well, Savage's delivery in was looped back up by O'Connor, and then Kinski actually clatters one of his own players. Kevin Danso felt the full force of that, and Pedro Porro was in the right place at the right time before Savage's. Porro's ball is a good one, and it's Hibachiman who does get it away from danger. Devine, that's clever, very clever. And the touch from Solanke just sees it loop over the crossbar. Well, it seems this is why Alfie Devine's been tasked with this kind of number 10 role. You can see that vision and creativity. Very shrewd pass, but Solanke just couldn't help it on its way. Udogie once more cuts it back. Devine slightly off balance, it was slightly behind him. Pedro Porro, oof, that's not a good challenge from Marco Mahoney, the Irishman. And Brennan Johnson putting forward the case, so that's not necessary in a pre-season friendly. Scoot down the line. Oh, it was high, wasn't it? On the Spain international. One hopes there wasn't too much contact on Pedro Porro in pre-season last season to comfortably earn his spot as part of the first team squad. Porro's ball is good, and Sarr smashes it goalwards, and Reading hack it away to get the free kick too. This handball, I think, best chance so far. There was a cluster of players in black shirts to the near post, and it ran to Sarr, and Joel Pereira gets down to make a really good stop to deny the Senegal midfielder before it hit the arm of Brennan Johnson in the 6-yard box. Couple of openings for Spurs in this first half. In by Porro. Bentancur on. Bentancur back to Porro again. Porro's delivery deep and good, and Romero with a chance nodded wide in the sole minute of added time at the end of the half. Well work between Bentancur and Porro, and that's on his weaker foot, Pedro Porro. 2 options at the back post, but Romero couldn't direct it back across the face of the Reading goal. Solanke gathers, final seconds, and Udogie looks to do something with them. No time for any further play. That is the half-time whistle from Farai Hallam. And Thomas Frankside going level at the break. An entirely new 11 for Spurs here as Will Lancashire leading the line will get the game underway. Wholesale changes. Heung-min Son skippering the team in the second half, and we'll run the full 11 across the screen shortly, but the headline half-time team news is that Mohamed Kudus is on for his first appearance in a Spurs shirt, and the same could be said for Luka Vučković, who's playing at centre-back, wearing number 80 for the pre-season campaign. He's alongside Mickey van der Ven. Long ball up towards Lancashire, it's direct and it nearly works out as Pereira's sharp off his line. First run out for Mohamed Kudus since his move from West Ham. Son on the left and Will Lancashire up front. He had that loan at West Bromwich Albion in the second half of last season. Vučković with the header and directed in by Will Lancashire. He's right to smile. He scores the first goal of Thomas Frank's pre-season. And Tottenham Hotspur lead early in the second half in Berkshire. Reading 0, Tottenham Hotspur 1, and it's come from a set piece. Well, Vučković, who was a major threat in Belgium from set pieces, scoring goals on loan last season, was the player to help it on. Great delivery from Kudus. Vučković knew he just had to get it towards that back post, and Will Lancashire, who is a towering figure, who scored for Spurs last season in the Europa League, is there to direct it in and give the visitors the lead. And Brefa tries to get tighter to Luka Vučković this time. Kudus' ball. Here's Donnelly. Spence. Kudus from an onside position. Squares it. And that's a wonderful finish from Vučković. Brilliant goal from the young central defender, who's had an excellent 8 minutes here. Slots it away like a striker. He's made one and scored one. That's some impact from the teenager, and Reading are undone again. From the 18-year-old, Kudus gets the assist as well in his first run out. He weighted it perfectly. And Vučković, who built a reputation in Belgium last season as a goal-scoring centre-back, has just rolled that into the net for 2-0. Good stuff from the new players into the team. Reading 0, Spurs 2. Kudus right in on the keeper, bit of a scramble, and Heung-min Son with a chance to make it 3-0. Despite the injury issues he faced last season and the amount of football he had to play, Heung-min Son ended the campaign with 11 goals. Embarking upon his 11th season as a Tottenham Hotspur player after his contract was extended last season. Shane Long, Kevin Doyle, Steve Sibble, Leroy Lita, Nicky Shuri, who went on to become an England international. Berrival's given that away, and he's put in a slightly careless challenge, but not a penalty. And the bent effort wide from Spencer is a good opening of note for Reading. Spence. So important in the second half of last season, Jed Spence, after getting his break in the first team. Kudus. And Spence have worked that out. Can he keep this in play? Yes, he can. Heung-min Son is completely free far side. Kudus cuts it back. Donnelly just bent wide. Jamie Donnelly nearly in. Spurs close to a third goal, and that was some lovely build-up. The team played out from the back, and then Spence and Kudus worked this magnificently down the right. Kudus didn't have faith that his pass would reach Son, giving the recovering defender, and went for Donnelly instead. Donnelly, a star at Leyton Orient last season. We've seen Jed Spence on social media, poolside on holiday, still wearing his Europa League medal. Elliott with a shot, and Vicario, I think, did need to get a touch to that. Son checks back, goes back to Ben Davies. Now Basuma. Basuma hangs it. Spence has snuck round behind and pounces on the error. And Stevens has to make a save to keep out the right back. Clever ball by Basuma, but Ryan should have dealt with that, instead presented it to Spence. Saturday the 26th of July. Here come Reading again, and Spence just about gets the challenge in. Ryan bends the ball in towards that back post that Ben Davies has dealt with, on by Basuma. Kudus can't get there. Ryan again. Down by Davis. And the crisp drive is brilliantly saved by Vicario. Ashkar Ahmed let rip, and Vicario was there to keep it out. Can Spurs protect the clean sheet here into added time? They do, and they win the game as well. To start pre-season and to start this new era under Thomas Frank.